As you can see, I already acquired the 4 camos, and I was quite surprised because with the 8.3 update, and especially the fact that Wargaming added that much legendary camos, I thought that maybe they would go for something a little bit different, something like trying to get us some challenges in order for us to unlock the right to pay for the camos. And I was quite impressed because they actually didn't do that. What you had to do basically to get all the camos is play one game with each tank, win it, and after you will have the possibility of unlocking them in your garage. For the most curious out there, each camo is worth 3,000 gold, which implies that you will need a total of 12,000 gold in order for you to equip your tanks, which kind of sucks because with 12,000 golds at the moment, there are way better things to do. For example, maybe buying the Double Trouble bundle or whatever. I mean, everything is worthy compared to spending on legendary camo. But as I love the look it gives them, especially for this one, no, it's a joke, this one kind of sucks, but at least for the VK9001P, V7201K, sorry, and the FV4002, they are kind of looking really great. And I mean, through the camos they implemented, you can see that Wargaming did two things. They wanted to please the historical fanboys such as me, because right there we have those two tanks that kind of looks historical, but they also wanted to please people that are into a fantastic mood or something like that by implementing this and the WZ121 camo, because both of them looks not historical at all. Now let's have a culture point, right? The legendary camo on the VK721K is named Rotkopf, and it's probably a German word, and I didn't know what it meant, so I went to internet and I saw that. Rotkopf means redhead, not the porn section, but rather the fact that the head is highlighted in red, especially on the legendary camo, so at least now you will know it. I feel like it's also a good time for me to remind you that the legendary camos don't have special perks compared to regular ones. For example, if I go to the main camos, for example, this one, the Water Dragon, you see that you have plus 3% to concealment, whereas when you take a look at the legendary one, it's the exact same. The only thing that changes is the aesthetic and also the name of the tank directly in battle. But in this video particularly, I would like to talk a little bit about the camouflage of the FV4005, and not just to say that it's ugly, because that camo actually has a meaning in an upcoming event called the Special Event in the 8.3 preview. Basically, at the end of the trailer, you will see two things. First, that little hippopotamus with laser gun and stuff. Also, the Object 907 in the back, which implies that this tank is going to be sold in this update. But most importantly, you see that it's highlighting the FV4005 legendary camo. And it's for a simple reason, the simple reason that we're gonna try to see right after. When you take a look at this picture right there, you still have that little bicycle. No, it's not a bicycle. I forgot the name in English, but you get this thing running around, which is a shout out to Oliver Tree, for those of you that know him, and I already talked about him because there is a prepared video coming and a prepared event coming in collaboration with this guy. We already talked about this guy on our channel. This guy seems to be British, maybe it's not the case, and basically Wargaming is collaborating with him over this video that you're gonna see right there, where you see that the guy created the biggest scooter ever, which is, I don't know, it's still something funny though. And I truly think that there is a coincidence between the FV4005 legendary camo and this guy. First of all, because the colors are matching his spirit, or at least kind of, because when you take a look at his haircut, how he's dressed, there is a lot of green and purple, and it's the exact same case on the FV4005. On top of that, the FV4005 camo is a little bit over the top, which is matching with the personality of the guy you just saw. If you take a look at his clips, etc. of music, because he's a musician, you will see that the guy is kind of degenerate, at least a little bit, which makes the character obviously. So yeah, I think that in the end, there is something linked to the FV4005 in the upcoming event. I might be completely wrong and it would just be maybe a request from the artist to have his own legendary camo being implemented in the game and nothing more, but I guess that maybe it's going to be something something else, but we'll have to wait to see what it is. Basically, my expectations are that, judging by the little laser hippopotamus gun, maybe we're gonna get something around Halloween or something like this, but it's only expectations. All we can be sure about, and the only thing actually we know, is that there is a collaboration between Wargaming and Oliver Tree, and that it's coming in Blitz before November, so yeah. It matches a little bit with the Halloween event. We'll have to wait and see. Now, let's talk a little bit about the FV4005 itself, because after all, it's a really good game you're about to watch, and I feel like it shows greatly how to play that tank. Basically, the FV4005 features 3 shells in the magazine for 16 seconds of reload, because it got buffed recently in order for it to make it a little bit more competitive. And truly, I don't think that this tank deserved a buff. It was already great in its current state, but as most of the players are not taking the time to learn how to play it, obviously the statistics of the tank was bad on the battlefield, and as Wargaming is only judging by the statistic, when a tank is bad, statistically talking, they are buffing it. And this is exactly what they did with the FV. What's amazing about this tank is the bursting abilities, because now that you have 1.5 less seconds of total reload, you can reload your 3 shells in 16.5 seconds, which implies that you will get around 1.3k average burst every 16.5 seconds. A little bit more if we count the 3 seconds intra reload clips, so in total maybe it's going to take you 21, 22 seconds, which is still an amazing burst, not as good as the FV183, but at least here, as you have 3 shells, you can pick up your targets, you can perma-track them, etc. So now the real question is, how do you want to play your FV4005? Because I see way too many people doing mistakes with this one. You don't have any armor, so keep that in mind. You don't want to do anything stupid, you don't want to brawl against your opponents, you don't want to be the first one that everybody's aiming at, otherwise you're going to get completely destroyed. What you want to do with it is going with the rest of your allies. What you only have to do is waiting for your allies to make your enemies shoot, and once it's done, you go in, you burst your 3 shells, and you come back to a safe cover. In definitive, the replay and the playstyle of the FV4005 is not really hard. It's quite easy, in fact. But it requires you to get into a good team, because you will have to go with the rest of your team. And don't worry, your bursting abilities and your mobility will do the job after, because as you don't have any armor, you feature an amazing mobility, which will allow you to go back to a safe position once you can. And here, unfortunately, at the end, I did the biggest mistake of my life, going straight on the M5Yo, because I was greedy. I wanted to pass 7k damage. And yeah, we were close to it, but we did not manage to get it because I was stupid. But it happens, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. If that's the case, feel free to subscribe, like, and share. But most importantly, tell me in the comments, what do you think the special event is going to be? Because we know now that there is a special event. Wargaming said it. We also know that it's a feature with Oliver Tree, but we don't know especially what are going to be the specs of the event. So if you have any ideas, feel free to hit me up in the comments, and maybe if your theory is really worth, I'll probably make a video out of it. Hope you enjoyed, you know what to do, and I'm going to see you soon for a new video. Bye.